Hello everyone, I'm Camille and thank you for coming to my first ever makeup tutorial video on YouTube. Yay! Today we're gonna do some flowery makeup and I'm starting to fill in my eyebrows with this shade called Tasty that comes from a Jawbreaker palette of Jeffree Star Cosmetics. As you can see, I am just following the natural shape of my eyebrows, filling it in back and forth. I also leave a tiny bit of space in the front so that I could use a lighter brown shade to create an ombre effect on my eyebrows. Sometimes it can get a bit messy, so I like to use a Q-tip to clean out the edges. For now, we're closing the Jawbreaker palette and opening up a Blood Sugar palette, which also comes from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I'm using a shade called Sugar Cane, which is a tiny bit lighter brown shade to fill in the front of my eyebrows. Next up, we have a NYX eyeshadow primer. I've been using this primer for a very long time, maybe 3 or 4 years, and I'm very happy with it. This one is not waterproof, it's just a simple version, but I have to tell you, it works every single time and I can be calm that my eyeshadows are gonna stay on my face the whole day. And they also sell it for a quite affordable price, so that's always very nice. I'm letting primer to dry out a little bit, so I'm creating this wind with my eyeshadow palette. I was also drinking tea and I wanted to show this little cute cup that I have. So now we will start working on the eyes, and I'm using again the same shade called Sugar Cane to deepen my crease. And this will set the primer that we just applied and also help to blend out the darker shades that we will use in the future to create the whole eyeshadow look. This pan also has a little bit of fallout, so I'm using a bigger brush to just dust off the product. One thing that I noticed is that if I'm planning to use a darker shade of glitter or a duochrome on my skin tone, I also tend to contour towards my nose so that this shade blends better with the rest of the eyeshadows and doesn't look muddy on the face. Next up, we have a shade called Cake Mix from the same palette. This shade of brown is a tiny bit darker than the one that we used before, and I'm using it to create more depth to my eyes. I'm just applying this eyeshadow on the outer part of my eyelids without going too far towards the eyebrows so that we would not cover everything that we just did. I'm also applying it towards the inner part, sorry, not inner, but the middle part of my eye, so that when we open them you can see the depth in the front. Also, if you are a hooded eyes girly like me, you can open your eyes and just see where the depth starts, because sometimes you just do it with your eyes closed and then you open it and everything is gone. But yeah, you can try that. Also, yeah, my brushes are not the cleanest, sorry about that, but it works for now. Next up, we apply the shade called Sugar Cane to blend out the, well, everything again so that we have this flawless look and everything is nice and blended out. Finally, the time has come to put on some glitter. Yay! This one is also from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. The product's name is Supreme Frost in the shade Hypothermia. And I swear to God, this is one of the most beautiful shades that I've seen. Sorry about that. But it's kind of pinkish and bluish, and then sometimes it's brown depending on the angle that the light hits. And also it just picks up on this shitty camera. I'm amazed by that. But yeah, I'm just like applying it on the inner part of my eyes without going too much towards the rest of the eyelid. Just want to keep it, you know, simple and let it shine through and pop up. Also, don't forget to go a little bit into the inner corner to make it pop up even more. And I'm just like going back and forth with that. Also, shout out to my friend that gave this this thing for me just for free. I love it so much. It's so beautiful. For this next part, you will need an angled brush but not too much. It's kind of like this. The one that I'm using comes from Urban Decay Naked Palette, and I'm dipping with it into a sugar cane shade once more, and I'm just applying it underneath my eyes. And if you're afraid to put eyeshadow underneath your eyes, please don't be, because this is like bringing everything together, trust me. And especially if you're doing like very dark eyeshadow looks, this will definitely help you out a lot. Now we'll go into Cake Mix one more time, and I'm applying this eyeshadow very close to my waterline without going too much down. And for this part you can also use a more angled brush, but yeah, I was just a bit lazy, so I'm using the same one. And just, yeah, keep on going until you like it. Now I'm gonna use a very intense shade of white called Glucose. And this one also goes very close to my waterline, going towards the inner corner. For this part you can also use like a white pencil if you want it to be more opaque. But honestly, these eyeshadows have such a good quality even after many years of use. So I just feel like I don't need anything else, so I'm using the white eyeshadow. In this part we will add a little bit more glitter, which is never enough. But this one that I'm using comes from MAC in the product called Dazzle Shadow Liquid in the shade Not Afraid to Sparkle. And I'm putting this just on the inner corner, nowhere else. I just like my inner corner to pop up. I also like to blend it out sometimes with the finger, just a tiny bit, but not too much, because your fingers tend to take the product off your face. Alright, time to do some liner, and now I'm gonna use the darkest shade of the look for today, which is called Intravenous, and I'm using an angled brush that comes from Douglas. Also, the fluffy brush that I've been using before also comes from the same brand, Douglas. And yeah, this is like a hardcore scariest part of the video. I think for many people, not only for me, but I personally struggle with a syndrome of hooded eyes, which is like you can never do like a very big eyeliner look, because then when you open the eyes, everything just disappears underneath the eyelid. So I've been like always struggling to find a balance of like not going too big but also keeping it visible. So my tactic is to like keep it as low as possible on the eye, and then later making a line underneath the eyes, like close to the waterline, and just bringing it all together. I don't know, I think that works for me. I don't know if it's really a thing, but yeah, try it out. So like right now I am showing it, and hopefully you will see what I'm talking about. Yeah, also some people do like a thunder thing on their eyes with the black liner usually, but ain't nobody have time for that, so I am just trying to work it my way. Also, I do prefer to use a shadow as an eyeliner, because it looks for me way more natural on the eye and easier to fix if you make a mistake. We survived it, yay! Now it's time to do some flowers finally, and I'm gonna use this palette that comes from Glisten Cosmetics, and also a brush in number 3 from the same brand. It is a bit bended though, because yeah, life happens, but it's okay, we survive it. And then it like all you need is literally just a brush and water, and you like mix it up, and there you have it. Like you can do whatever you want with it. So now I'm just gonna like do some blobbity blobs, little dots, and it really, like, this makeup look seems so much more difficult than it is, but it's actually like literally just doing dots on your face. You could also like turn the brush around and dip like the kind of like the end of the hard part of the brush into the product, and you could just like put it on your face and you have like a perfect dot. Like how cool is that? But in this case I'm just like making it myself manually with my fingers and the technique that I hopefully have, but it does seem like I'm doing okay for now. But like I'm just creating this look on the spot. I did have an inspiration to start off with, but I didn't really follow it that much. Like you can just literally make as many flowers as you want. You can like make the whole eye just with the flowers. I did it multiple times, and I just love this look because it's so simple, and I believe that anyone can do it, like really. So don't be afraid, go ahead and do this because it's really worth it. Now this part, it is quite scary, and I did mess it up a bit. I had to clean it up, but also the good part about these liners, because they're water activated, they also, like, you can fix it up so easily. Like I'm doing it right now. Like all you need is just water. I did decide to also add some dots underneath my eyes, so if you're planning to do the same, please don't forget to clean the surface of your face, because after applying shadow there's always some fallout and you do not want to add this on a dirty surface. So yeah, I'm just trying it out before applying the next shade, which is called Peach. With this color I will just fill in the inside of the flowers to make them more realistic, and that's basically it. The only thing that is left is like to apply mascara. That's it. But before we do that, I will use a lash curler because my lashes are really straight, and I know a lot of girls are afraid of it, but it's like honestly the best thing that has been invented for me because then my mascara really can show up, you know. And the one that I will use today comes from Sensei. It has a super tiny brush which I've never used before, and like I really love this applicator because I can really reach all the hairs, all the spots that I need. It's really convenient, and honestly it stays the whole day. Like I've been using drugstore mascaras for a long time until I found this one. This one really hits the spot. Yeah, I'm also applying this mascara on my lower lashes. This is really fun for me because usually my top lashes are not that vibrant and my lower ones then pop up really nicely. So yeah, this is basically the final look. I'm not using any foundation because I like to keep my makeup looks very simple, very breathable, and I'm really in love with this look. It's very springy, very girly, and it's so simple to make. I really hope that all of you will succeed to do it, and thank you for stepping by. Love you so much. Bye.